there's a lot of crazy turn of events that is, you know, that happened in episode 13 through 16. So pretty much the end of the series of Under the Queen's Umbrella. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden. So, first off, we pick up where we left off at the end of episode 12, which, you know, the baby of the Grand Prince. So, he's pretty much spent some time trying to take care of the baby on his own, and then he came to his mom for help. But like I love how, the queen, and it is called Under the Queen's Umbrella, so she finds different ways to protect the princes, not just the grand princes but all of them. um but pretty much the ones that want to be helped by her, obviously, right? So in his case, she was able to take the girl in and use her as a wet nurse for the baby, and she also gave her a role in her court. So this way she can protect them, and then they once once she's able to let them go off on their own, then they'll be together without needing her protection. And the queen dowager was very close to finding out that there was a baby in the grand prince's house. I mean, the way this came about is because all the other grand princes, they found out that there was a baby there, so they're frequenting his chambers a lot to play with the baby. And then also because the crown princess was visiting his chambers, because all three brothers were there and she wanted to ask questions about the crown prince. So this brings us to the crown prince, right? So in episode 13 and 14, they're pretty much trying to get them to, well, mostly 14, trying to get them to consummate their their wedding, right? But because I'm not sure why he's not, consummating his wedding, because his mom, came clear to him that the princess, she was the one who chose the princess. So it wasn't, the queen dowager. So he shouldn't have a problem. And she told him, like, the other reason I chose her is because she's in love with you. So every parent should be happy that the person that their kid is marrying loves them, right? So even though, you know like, there was this whole rumor which the queen dowager started, that he's infertile, and she's cheating with his brother. So the queen went and hired somebody to help them consummate the marriage. And even still, I'm like, because I don't remember if it was in this show or not, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's a light drinker. And come to find out, he drank like three and he was already out. So, and I'm like, I don't think they consummated the marriage. And lo and behold, they didn't. But she decided to take it upon herself to take a sneak peek of his body. And I'm like, what exactly is stopping you from consummating your marriage? Because she likes you, you like her. So, and even then, if you don't want to just consummate it like that, then at least spend some more time with her, getting to know her more, because you both like each other and there's nothing pretty much standing in your way. So, and part of your duties is to, produce an heir to the throne. And speaking of heir to the throne, the queen finds out that, the current king, knew how and why the other the other crown prince, Tayan, had to die, right? So because he saw it happen, he saw his mom give him the poison and he just didn't do anything about it. So when the queen came to him to reinvestigate, the death of the crown prince Tayan, he didn't want to, because she wanted the investigation to happen, because she wanted to prove that her own son was murdered, but he didn't want to. And she found out later that he was in he was there that night when it happened. Um, and then we also find out that the previous queen, they, when the queen dowager killed all her kids, she left one alive. And come to find out, like, that person is Kwan. Physician Kwan, who is also the baby daddy of Concert Kwan, whatever her name is. So let's examine, shall we? So, uh, Kwan, Physician Kwan, is the son of the previous queen. So technically, he, if anything were to happen to his brother, he would be the crown prince. So he had a baby with her. So technically, if they overthrow the current king, his son can technically get the power now. So, you know, the concert, her dad pretty much figured out that, hey, oh, okay. So that's, that's the father to my grandson. And it's crazy, this whole time your kid is not the current king's kid, but yet you acting like you have all this power because you were wronged, but yet you were you were wronged because you were not queen, but then you went and you weren't even his to begin with, right? Like, you either you cheated on him or you were already with the other guy when they made you the concubine. So, like, you ain't got no reason to be complaining and saying that you were wronged. Like, they took your spot, like the queen took your spot, or whatever it may be, right? Later on in the series, we find out that, you know, it was when she was the concubine that he went after her. So he deliberately, Physician Kwan deliberately went after her, to get back at, you know, the king, because he was like, oh, I even impregnated one of his concubines, his firstborn, the firstborn that he held in his hand is actually my son. Da, 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 da. So, like, Concert Kwan finds out that he was taking advantage of her this whole time. Well, I'm like, that's what you get. But it looks like towards the end, it looks like she went crazy. I'm not sure, but her and her son, they look like they disposed them. So they were off somewhere when the queen went to go visit them. So she's like, she's gonna keep an eye on Prince Usong because um she doesn't trust him. And I'm like, but I guess she kept him alive because that was what the other queen wanted, because that is her grandson. So the favor she asked of the queen is to leave the grandson alive, or her son's son alive. So that's exactly what the queen did, but she's keeping an eye on him. And then basically how everything ended, the crown prince, um, his wife, the crown princess, became pregnant from their consummation night, which she did. She lied and said that they didn't do anything, but I guess they did because I was like, how is she pregnant if they didn't do anything? So it was kind of interesting. And he does like her, he does love her. He was trying to do a lot of things on her list of what to do with him. So that was a great turnout. With the king, he came forward and tried to rectify what happened a long time ago. There are many people who were disposed by the previous queen and, well, the queen dowager that got their places back, that were reinstated. Um, After he came forward, I don't really know what happened to the king because they didn't really show him. But his mom didn't want him to punish her, so she pretty much unalived herself. I guess she drank something and put in like her fancy outfit, and she pretty much, went bye bye. In terms of some of the other princes, so Prince Bogum and Consort Ko's son, they got out of the palace. Prince Consort Ko's son, he went and married someone. They didn't really say what he was doing, but he looks like he's living as a nobleman outside of the palace. So, and he's married with his wife and expecting a child. So I thought that was cute that they gave him that kind of story. And pretty much, with the one that was in a relationship with Chogo, so the grand prince that was in a relationship with her that had the baby, I think I think they installed the rule that they could be together because that's how the queen wanted to save him, because she wanted to set the first rule that he could be with a woman of low birth, um even without her being a concubine, she could be his wife. So I think that's how they finished his story. And with the story of Prince Gason, he decided he wanted to leave the palace and go live his true self outside and explore the world outside of the palace. So, um, all in all, I think, I mean, they pretty much closed out every story. Obviously, the end wasn't as dramatic as you thought it would be. Well, one thing to note is that Prince Usong did kill his own father. So, which I'm like, when that scene was happening, I was like, why did you even let this boy kill you? And the person who told him to kill him was his grandma, the Queen Dowager, was like, the only way we can take you as, that you were plotting treason is if you killed this man. So he just went in and just like killed him, and he just let him kill him. And I'm like, then all of this you just did was for like nothing. You just let him kill you like that, all because he's your son. Like, weird. And the whole self-righteous thing where he was conversating with the queen, like the crown prince, the previous crown prince didn't do anything to deserve the death that he got. If anyone, he should have gone after the queen dowager, because it was the queen dowager who pretty much wiped out his entire family and, the pose of the queen. The crown prince didn't have anything to do with that. So for him to be like, oh, the crown prince was just the beginning of my revenge. And I'm like, he didn't do anything to you. Like that's what annoys me in some of the shows. Like, I understand you wanting revenge, right? But take it out on the people who rightfully deserve it, not on the innocent people that didn't have anything to do with the whole reason um for your thing. So, but all in all, I thought the ending was okay. They pretty much showed you, 3 months later, where everybody was. The grand heir, so the previous prince's son, was able to come back to the palace, and everything's moving forward. So I'm assuming that the current crown prince is going to give the grand heir back his position, because they made it kind of seem like, because he took his hat off and put it on the grand heir, so maybe he that's what we're supposed to see, that he's going to give him the crown in the later on. But yeah, well, stay tuned for my full rating of the entire series. And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.